The Confederate flag NASCAR is huge sports news.
That is huge. We should talk about that. Good on NASCAR, man.
It's huge news.
Dude, we've talked about these sports teams that are scared to say Black Lives Matter at first because they're scared to push away fans because, there's people in fan bases that buy products that, whatever. We don't need to do that whole thing. NASCAR, man, I mean...
That's crazy change, though. Like, that's their culture.
But, dude, you have to do it. And
I know, but it's almost like Yankee Stadium saying you can't wear pinstripes. Not almost, but
yeah,
it's big.
It's big. It is big, but I think the bigger thing...
they're scared to do it. Like, you got to give them a lot of courage because they alienated more than half of their fan base.
I think they've been scared to do it, and the time is now.
Yeah.
But
whoever pushed the button, the council, like, they had to have huge butterflies, huge knots in their stomach.
I don't think so. I think they've had those for years, and they finally found their opportunity where it's like, guys, we got to do this, because that was like one of my sad boy realizations this week. Shower Jake was just like, we've just casually lived with the Confederate. We talked about the Confederate flag like it was just a crazy uncle.
Yeah.
Like, if you were in the South and you saw a Confederate flag, you'd be like, that's not great, huh?
Yeah, it is crazy.
But you just shrugged, and then you kind of went on.
Hopefully they can stop having people in the South say it's about states' rights when literally the succession papers for each state, like if people want to really be proven wrong,
sure,
the succession statements or papers from each state, they list the reasons why they're succeeding.
Right.
They list slavery.
Right.
Like, it's not like states' rights.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But that's been said forever. And, like, half the people still kind of believe that they can just say that. It's crazy. Anyway.
Good on NASCAR. Good on Bubba Wallace, the one black driver in NASCAR who's been kind of the lead of all this, and he initially made the push. And I want to give him a bigger shout-out because he went on Scott Van Pelt's Sports Center last night, and they did an interview, and it was terrible. There was, like, bad internet connection, so it was literally just, like, bad. Like, Scott Van Pelt was like, hey, man, let's do this another time where I can hear you.
Yeah.
But the guy, Bubba Wallace, wrapped it up, grabs a Coca-Cola, and he goes, yep, we should have a Coca-Cola another time, Scott. Get that bag, man.
Damn.
Get paid.
So I said to Luke, like, wow, that's like a crazy change. That might be the biggest change so far. And Luke was like, no, look at this tweet. I didn't know all of this, so I want to share it.
Sure. Is this your breaking news?
No, it's other.
Okay.
I just thought...
Are we still in sports?
I thought this was the biggest sports news of the day, so I just wanted to do it. Within 10 days of sustained protest, Minneapolis bans the use of chokeholds. The charges were upgraded, kind of like what has the protesting even accomplished?
Sure.
Someone put a whole list. Dallas adopts a duty to intervene rule that requires officers to stop other cops who are engaging in appropriate use of force. That's huge.
It's huge.
Because it was code of silence and brotherhood for so long.
Should have been there.
New Jersey's attorney general said the state will update its use of force guidelines for the first time in 2 decades. In Maryland, bipartisan work group of state lawmakers announced a police reform work. L.A. City Council introduces motion to reduce LAPD's operating budget. Boston agrees to stop using public buses to transport public officers. That's like 2 of a list of 20. So that was cool when I was like, oh, that might be the biggest change about NASCAR. And Luke was like, no, there's been a ton of
shit's happening,
actual.
man.
So that's awesome to hear.